Hey, what's up guys, Master here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Now in the past I talked about what an operation would do to the market, but what we haven't talked about is what no operation would do. That's what we're going to be hitting on. Let's hop on into it. Now when it comes to no operation, there's a lot of things that are going to happen, but the biggest and most apparent is going to be the paranoia, in my opinion. That's something that's going to be there, is people are believing there's going to be an operation every single day, especially considering that that's something that happens regularly now, and this is not even usually the time when we see an operation. We're starting to get into that time. So the fact that this is something that already takes place in a market that really it doesn't have much place for, it's going to absolutely explode by the time we get to the actual time frame where we would be expecting an operation. Now the truth behind this, or what it actually means, is definitely up for interpretation. In my opinion, it's definitely possible we see something like potentially a market slowdown as people start to realize that, oh crap, maybe there's an operation, I should probably sell a couple of my items off just so I have some extra money. This is probably going to be the most opinion-based thing we talk about in this video, because this comes down to what you expect to happen, which is more opinion-based. The rest of the things we're going to be talking about are actual things that are going to happen one way or another, where this is a little bit up for interpretation. The next thing, and what's going to be the most apparent, is obviously the CSGO Major. We're starting to get to the point where the CSGO Real Major is now within arm's reach, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the market reacts to that, considering we've been on a very hot streak as of recently. Obviously, many items really haven't seen that summer slowdown, and it's going to be very interesting if we get to a point where this could be the major that tips the scales in favor of potentially that summer slowdown. Or the other thing, which is probably going to be a bigger impact in my opinion, is if we don't see an operation. Now it's going to be a little hasty on the timelines, but if we don't see this operation, could we potentially see a lot more people investing into this CSGO Major? Now it's going to be, like I said, very interesting on the timelines, because usually people are going to be expecting this operation afterwards, but we got to remember that the major sales usually last for a significant amount of time, and if we do not see an operation release during those major sales, that could potentially lead a lot more people to start picking up some of these items for the major, especially if these stickers are looking a little bit more unique. I think there's going to be a ton of people that are eager to invest into this major, even after the past major with Antwerp didn't turn out as well as people had hoped. I think if we see unique stickers here and we don't see a ton of operation interest or even operation relevance by Valve, there definitely could be the possibility that we see a ton of people investing into the CSGO Major just for the simple fact that there's nothing else to do. And speaking on that topic, if we don't see an operation, I think it's highly likely we could see a huge increase in unboxing numbers. I think something that really keeps the unboxing numbers in check and the active duty cases in check available to purchase is just the fact that during the operation, so many people are focused in on one, the new case, and two, all the stars or the things they can buy with the stars, that it takes a lot of interest away from the active duty cases. And I think this is something that is not really essential for Valve, but I think it's something that has turned out rather well for them, because it's not something I originally intended, or rather I believe they originally intended to do, but it's kind of created a nice balanced cycle, and we're starting to lose that cycle already as we see so many people unboxing cases, and now that there's no non-prime drop pool, there is a ton of cases slowly slipping away from the market due to investors and unboxings. Therefore, I think it's going to be a very hard time for the CSGO market, or maybe not hard is the right word, but a very profitable time at least, if we do not see an operation, and therefore we just see the prices of all of these active duty cases keep on going up because there's just nothing else to unbox. And I would assume that these rare cases and older cases are most likely going to follow a very similar pattern as well. And I had briefly mentioned it earlier, but it's definitely going to be quite interesting to see how the overall market reacts. We talked a little bit about cases, and especially those active duty cases, as those are the most volatile during a time of operation or potentially no operation. But overall, the market, it's going to be quite interesting to see those staple items that usually drop off a little bit during an operation and take a while to recover, how they are going to fare, because obviously we've got the winter time coming up, and generally speaking, the winter time is one of the best times to invest before for CSGO, so you can grab a little bit of that extra profit when it comes time to get that winter. I mean, comes time for Christmas in North America and all around the world, this is the time when consumers generally spend the majority of their money, and I wouldn't expect CSGO to be an exception this year. So I think there's going to be a lot of money pumped into CSGO during this time, and odds are some is definitely going to go to cases, but I would assume that some is going to go to buying stuff off the market as well. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how that reacts. I can't really say one way or another what I expect to happen, because it's very possible that the overall market, excluding cases and consumables or things that you unbox, could potentially stay relatively similar to the price point that it's at now, maybe increasing 10 possibly percent. I mean, it's definitely going to be up for interpretation at that point, and it's going to be something that you just kind of have to play by ear, because it's very possible we could see that increase, and it's very possible, in my opinion, that we don't really see too much. Even though there's a lot of people that are buying stuff, there's definitely the possibility that without an operation, we just don't know. And the last big topic which I want to hit on is the CSGO player count. Now, if we want to look at last year, obviously the player count went up during the winter time, and I think there's definitely the correlation that obviously it's the winter time. But I think something that a lot of people overlook is the fact that we've seen an operation the past 3 years during this time, so it's definitely quite possible that the operation is inflating these numbers more than it really relatively should be. And therefore, if we don't see an operation, I would be very interested to see what this base number is at. Even right now, the operation is something that is looming in a lot of people's minds, and I think therefore that does play an impact in the player count that we're seeing right now. The player count we're seeing right now is usually relatively similar, and this year it's a bit higher than normal, and therefore I would be willing to expect that there's definitely something to do with the fact that we could see an operation relatively soon. I mean, honestly, we could pop up tomorrow and see an operation, and it wouldn't be too much out of the ordinary because of riptide. Riptide happened over a year ago at this point, so honestly, an operation could come up anytime between now and really the end of like January. There's definitely a large time frame there, and while it's expected to happen in like November-ish, there's definitely the possibility it could happen whenever. Now, I'm going to stop this video right here. I'm going to keep on going on about something else, but that's pretty much the end of talking about no operation. I had more stuff, it wasn't as important, so I cut it out. Mainly what I want to focus on here is my specific channel. Something's been going on with my channel that I really want to share, and I really want to get it out there because it's something that could potentially be a bigger issue down the line than it is right now. Basically, what's been going on is I've been getting sub-botted for the past 2 days. I'm up around 300 subscribers that I really shouldn't have. My subscriber growth is relatively consistent, and usually it's when I release a popular video that I get a little bit more than what I usually expect to see. But I'm up around 300 subscribers that I really shouldn't have, and I want to put this out there because I don't really know what's going on with this. It's something that I don't really know the impact of, and I want to make sure that it's out there that this is not my doing, first off, and second of all, I don't want anything bad to happen to my channel because of this. But that's really all I got for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day.